Hey everyone, welcome to another recap chat. This is Irene, CBiz Media, Faith and Love and Trends. All right, we're talking 90 Day Hunt for Love this time. 90 Day Hunt for Love. It's like 90 Day Fiance with all of the rejects from the show. And I'm not gonna call them rejects in that way, but basically their relationships failed. So now they're on the hunt for love. They go through to this tropical paradise and meet new people and some people that are already a part of the 90 Day world, which I kind of don't like how they focus on them more than the new people. Like some of the people's names I don't know, I don't recognize, and parts of their story they don't really show because they're not part of the main 90 Day cast. So I kind of don't like that part. I like to see a little bit more from the new people. They're kind of just like what do you call them, extras in this whole thing. It feels like this drama, this storyline that they have that they want to play out. But this one is called The Boy That's Still Married. And we know last time that happened with Jennifer and Rob, who is the boy that's still married, she didn't know what she was getting into when she hooked up with him the other night. Maybe she was trying to stick it to Cole. Maybe she was mad at Tim. She had various reasons. Probably made some poor judgment calls. I do feel like she was a little bit lit. All right, again, it's the day after, and Courtney and Jen are talking by the pool. They continue their conversation from last time, and she asked Courtney, "Why did you tell Tim that I told you guys about him getting me a male stripper and that he kind of likes to watch?" And Jen was like, "Well, I just happened to see you dancing with Cole, and I was thinking Tim might have enjoyed seeing that, and it just all came back flooding in my mind. So I was like, hey, why don't I spill these beans?" All right, don't think that's really a good reason, but it doesn't sound very thoughtful. Like, I guess it doesn't matter. Courtney is who she is, and everybody's cool with her and accepts her. And Jen even said previously that it's like, hey, she wanted the word to get out so Tim could feel some type of way. Well, in the interim, Cole butts in, and it's sad, really, because he's already whimpering back to her, not knowing that she got it on with another guy last night. Uh, he says he wants to talk to her after Courtney excuses herself, and he kind of recaps the nice events and basically how she treated him like a little lap dog, told him to sit in the corner like her son while she plays and canoodles with Rob. And he was upset, but he was compliant. Anyway, he's talking to her like she owes him something, and I'm like, honestly, I feel like he really is doing a little bit too much. She doesn't really owe him anything. Their relationship is brand new, and it's not even a relationship yet. She explains. I'm like, do you really have to explain to him why and what was your motivation? Because I feel like you don't. But anyway, she said, you shushed me. And that basically made a turn of events where I kind of just started clinging to Rob. He apologizes. She says she's going to give him a chance. He's such a yes man to me, and I am bored by him. She says he is showing maturity by coming to apologize. The maturity that, yes, she lacks. Maybe she needs some of that maturity in her life. Her and Rob are probably just going to be two messy people messing everything up. She does need a level head in her life. I think she probably knows that. And for Cole, putting all the eggs in one basket's a bad idea. He said she's the one that he's looking at, and his eyes are only for her. Bad move, young man. All right, they have a compatibility exercise with some of the cast are there, with this or that questions, and the whole thing with Colt and Usman both wanting Courtney. Colt said he's not intimidated by Usman, who previously said he was more of a man than him. And I started looking at other 90 Day YouTubers, and they're like, look at how can Usman say he's more of a man when Usman pulls a lot of older women and Colt pulls a lot of attractive women from other countries. So who's really the real man? If you look at the female companionship that they both get, Colt wins hands down. But anyway, Let's get into those this or that questions. And one thing they ask is, how often do you like to be in the bedroom with your partner? Colt says hourly. And as far as I know, that's part of his MO. Usman says weekly. And ladies, which would you prefer? Because Courtney said, she'd rather be with a guy that she has to almost beg him for it, versus a guy that is always hounding her, and that's all that he wants to do. And I think she said humping her leg. What about you, ladies? Do you agree? All right, another question: kids or no kids? And everybody had various answers, but I think Tim says that he does not want kids or small dogs. Then the other question is money or love. And everybody, I won't say everybody, many of the girls said love, and Colt said love. But Usman and Courtney seem to match on this one, both wanting money. And Courtney basically said she wanted money because you can fall in love with anyone if you're a decent person, but the money issues could break your relationship apart. And I think Usman said kind of basically let money makes the world go round, right? I'm sorry, I think Usman was all about the money, and I think that's why he's been picking these older women, because they're trying to give him Xboxes and buy his love on some level. So I can see that. I don't know what he wants with Courtney. Does he see that she can buy him some of the better things in life, even though he acts like he's the man and has all this from his soldier boy money? But we all know, is it really that much? Anyway, Colt says love, and he argues his point, but Usman says on the sidelines that Colt lives in his car anyway, so of course he's gonna say love. So at this point, when it comes to this question, Colt probably feels like he lost this battle. All right, and Tiffany and Carlo go out on their second date, and they have a little fun with Maya and Clay. They're putting the clay all over each other. It's kind of intimate. You can see the chemistry between them. She's not trying to go too low. He's like, go lower. She's not trying to go too low, but she didn't even go to his belly, so he wasn't being a creep when he said that to me. I could just see that she didn't want to go even to his stomach, whatever the case. And maybe she didn't want him to do that to her, so she was just mirroring that. I don't know. Whatever the case, the clay was all over their face. To me, I was like, miss my face, please. If we're going to do this, please, I don't need a facial. Can you miss my face with the clay? But they didn't miss each other's face. Her hair is super long, too. I'm like, I know there's mud getting in your hair. I know this isn't going to be fun for you to clean out when you get your shower in. Anyway, they're enjoying each other. The chemistry's there. Then the whole subject of her kids comes up. And she says, yeah, I've been married once and I have a couple of kids. And, his face completely changes. Even though he's wearing like a full Mayan clay mask, we can all tell he looks a little freaked out, right? He says that, to be honest, he wants him and his partner have their first child together. Not to have any children before, so basically he wants to experience that for the first time with the person that he's with. But Tiffany makes a good point, saying they're all in their 30s, middle to later 30s, going on 40. You got to be realistic here. Most people have a past around that age. He just doesn't happen to have kids in his life, which I know a lot of guys do start out later having the kids, though they do the everything else a lot of times. But she says she's okay with his reaction, but she's disappointed. He still seems a bit shaky, but he's still in, and he still has a connection with her. So we'll see what happens as things move forward. And Tiffany again is keeping her options open. All right, Jennifer and Rob, they are on the beach in the evening time, and they talk about last night. They said it was great. They have good chemistry with each other. Basically, they hooked up. They didn't play Mario Kart. They played something else. I don't have a good comeback, guys, but it wasn't Mario Kart that they were playing. Though initially that was the name of the episode, and that's initially how he got her in his place. But isn't that what guys do? Give you dumb random reasons to go hang out, something that piques your interest, and then they pull the switch up on you. They kind of do that. But I can't say that she wasn't like trying to do that herself, and she was a bit lit. So good thing that Rob says he won't kiss and tell. I really thought that he was gonna put that out there, but at this point he hasn't done that. And she's upfront about Cole apologizing to her, and but she does, he's like, well, are you gonna continue with him? And she's like, well, she leaves it kind of open and say, well, we're just getting to know each other, and she's keeping it open probably for both guys. Then she asked, were you married? And he was dreading this question, but he does admit that he is legally married. I was proud of his honesty, because if she said, were you married? He could have just said, yeah, and he didn't have to add the part, and I still am, legally. But I respect that he did that. But it reminds me of my ex. I was with someone that was actually not that honest and was telling me that they're going through a divorce. That wasn't said. I mean, you can still be legally married, but going through a divorce. I don't know what their status is on the divorce part of their situation, but when somebody says they're going through a divorce, I'm thinking, unless it's messy, the paperwork will be done soon, or at some point we have some type of deadline. But if the paperwork hasn't even been put in, which was the thing with my guy, I was pretty much played. Anyway, she's shocked, and she has the right to be, and she probably feels like an adulterator, but not a homewrecker, because they already were broke up. Things are kind of left open between them. I guess he feels like he still kind of has a shot, but it's not like he's all the way in, and I think he feels that. All right, it's time for a team activity, and you get a prize at the end. Okay, the team, some of the people's names I don't know, because again, they're the extras of the show and they're not the part of the original cast. Team 1 has Rocky and Tiffany on there, I know for sure. 2 has Jen and Rob, Chantel and Colt. 3 has Cole, Tessa, Tim, and Elise. And 4 has Usman, Nikki, Jack, and Courtney. Okay, so Soldier Boy says prepare to be destroyed. Oh, okay, sure. So the first one is the balloon pop. Come on there. You guys were playing Pop of the Balloon, and I just realized that. But this one is like, I've seen people do that before. The one with no hands, whoever pops the most balloons. You got to use your body parts and smash them together. Of course, they're trying to make it a sexy game or something. Rob and Jen end up winning that, but it looks like Elise was coming on to Tim and like shaking her derriere in his direction. It's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna use to bust those balloons. So there was a little bit of sexual tension between him and Tim and Elise. They kind of looked like they were having a flirty vibe when it came to that game. The next one was kissing cards. They had to use their mouth only to just kind of suck onto the card and pass it to the other person lip to lip. I've seen that before. There was man on man, girl on girl, just because of the cards, was getting passed by your mouth. Elise and Tim, I think they won one of those. And then there was the team 2 and 3 one. Something like that. Then it was a water bucket brigade challenge where you pour the water behind you and you can't look back, and the other person has to catch it all the way to the end, and the last person has to pour all the water into the bucket. Whoever has all their water or most of it in the bucket, whoever has the most of the bucket, they win. So Cole's team wins that one, and Rob was really trying to beat him and prove that he's a man by these little parlor games. Team 3 wins, and team 2 and 3, they have a tie. So now there's a kiss off, and I'm sure the guys are like, oh, I get to kiss one of these girls. Nobody's really made it except for Rob and Jen, who just over-made it, like in the beginning of this show almost, after the whole Elise situation. But Colt, he tries to take, he's like, yeah, I got this, I can do this, I can do the kissing competition, yeah. He's acting like he's in a gym, he's got his boxing gloves on, he's hopping up and down and Like, yeah, I got this. I'll take it for the team. Really, he just wants to make it with someone. Anyway, the girls kind of switch it up on the guys, and it's all girl on girl kissing. So all the teams pick two girls to kiss. The two teams pick two girls to kiss each other. The one unnamed young lady and Elise. And then we have Chantel and Jen. And you guys probably saw the previews about this. And Chantel talks about, before she starts the kissing, that the last time she kissed a woman, which was her friend, it changed her life. She's now questioning her sexuality. So the kissing begins. Elise and this other girl are all on the ground kissing. It was like really weird looking, like they were playing or something. They look like two kids playing with each other. I mean, like tickle fighting or something like that. That's what I mean. They look like two kids like tickle fighting as well as kissing at the same time. I really don't think they were kissing it up. Like Chantel and Jen, they did like this whole strange strip tease looking. They didn't take their clothes off, but one got on top of the other. Long elaborate kisses. I think Jennifer licked her face. To me, it was like they had done this before, like they were making a movie. And I was like, okay. And I know the guys were really happy about this. And Colt himself said, does anyone lose in this challenge? I think there's no losers. Of course, we know what you're thinking. So the winners are all the girls that kissed each other. And the guys feel kind of robbed. No pun intended, Rob. But they all win a bottle of champagne and they get a champagne date. They get to pick someone on the spot who they like to take on the date. So Jen, she's on the same team with Rob, standing right next to him, but she walks over to the other team and is like, hey, I picked Cole. And she made a good choice. And part of her reasoning is, yes, he's still married. It's kind of messy. And now she acts like she has her sights set on Cole. Chantel, says that kiss was really good, Jen. I hope you don't mind that I pick Rob. I don't think that she should mind due to the fact that, she can't take all the men. Like, she picked her guy anyway. Elise picks Rocky. And Tim feels a little bad because he thought they were having a little vibe, the way she was flirting and putting her butt on him. But I guess that's just what she does to a lot of guys, I'll say. I guess he's no Rob. Sorry, Tim. And the other young lady, we don't know who she chose, who she's dating. It's like TLC doesn't even care. She's an extra on this show anyway. But yeah, that was Hunt for Love. That one scene where they were kissing it up was, like, to me, a little bit too much for TV. It's probably something they would do on Love Island too, though, but we watched for a long time. I feel like it could have been a minute, but it felt longer. I mean, next time you guys need to kind of edit that for time. Maybe put it on the Between the Sheets episode, or maybe put, the full thing on there. Even though I haven't been watching that one, or put it on you guys, like extra deleted scenes website or something, because I just feel like it was a bit much for my eyes. And now we're gonna have to police kids as far as TLC. I guess TLC is a channel that's not even for the whole family anymore with that type of content, but they had lots of 90-day content anyway with relationships, and of course bedroom things were involved. Not for the kids, but this just takes it up to another level. I feel like I was entertained. I learned some new things. The whole episode as a whole was not that exciting to me. But we'll see how this storyline continues, because obviously they have a clear storyline that it seems like they've put together, and they're just kind of playing their roles, doing an improv. Thoughts, comments, questions, let me know. Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. Check us out on our other platforms at cbiztvmedia.com. Talk to you guys again next time. What did you guys think of this episode? And all the best. God bless.